A black waitress is ridiculed for her scars until a veteran is shocked to recognize her unit tattoo. "Look, Freddy Krueger came to work today," Davidson shouted, slamming his hand on the table and making the plates rattle. "Hey monster, bring more coffee over here, but be careful not to spill it with those burnt hands." The cruel laughter echoed through Ray's diner like an emergency siren. All eyes turned to Keisha, who held the coffee pot with perfectly steady hands, despite the scars that spread from her fingers until they disappeared under the sleeve of her white uniform shirt. Keisha Johnson was 34 years old and had faced much worse than the insults of Davidson and his crew of mediocre executives who showed up every Tuesday to brighten her day. What they didn't know was that every cruel word only fed something inside her that grew in silence, a strength they could never understand. "I bet it was in a fire in the ghetto," whispered Brett, Davidson's accountant, loud enough for her to hear. "Or maybe she was trying to cook crack and blew it up." Davidson laughed even louder. "Or maybe her boyfriend did it to her. You know how domestic violence is in that community." Keisha approached the table with measured steps, her posture straight, contrasting with their expectation of seeing her slump under the weight of humiliation. When she reached the table, she poured the coffee with surgical precision, every movement calculated and controlled. "Anything else, gentlemen?" she asked in a voice so calm that Davidson frowned, confused by the lack of reaction he expected. "Yeah, an explanation." Davidson leaned forward, his small eyes gleaming with malice. "Tell us how you got that. Was it an accident, or did someone teach you a lesson?" For a split second, something flashed across Keisha's eyes. It wasn't fear, it wasn't shame. It was the look of someone who had stared death in the face and decided it would have to wait. But Davidson was too busy admiring his own cruelty to notice. "Work," she replied simply, turning to leave. "What kind of work leaves someone like that?" Brett insisted, his voice heavy with contempt. "Nightclub security? Prostitute?" "Careful," Keisha interrupted, turning slowly to face Brett. There was something in the way she said that one word that made the air at the table grow heavier. "Some stories are more dangerous to tell than you can imagine." Davidson laughed again, but this time it sounded a little forced. "Oh look. Monsters trying to scare us. What are you going to do, burn us like they burned you?" What none of them realized was that as they spoke, Keisha memorized every face, every name mentioned in their previous conversations, every detail about their lives that they unconsciously revealed during these weekly sessions of cruelty. Her military mind worked like an information processing machine, cataloging everything for a purpose they couldn't even dream of. Across the restaurant, a man in his 40s watched the scene with growing discomfort. James Wright had arrived a few minutes earlier and chosen a table in the back, hoping to enjoy a quiet cup of